meetup for the Wakelet Schools program. I'm super excited to have all of you over here, and hopefully all of you will take great learning from the program and understand a little bit more about how you can interact with the program and make the most out of it. We've got some very special guests over here that I'll be introducing very soon. Two absolutely amazing schools on the program that are going to showcase how they've made the most of the program and how you can perhaps take some inspiration from what they do and try and improve your interaction with the program as well. Let me just share my screen really quick. Okay. Essentially, I'm Tejas here from the Wakelet team, and some of you may know me, some of you may not. I currently lead business development, but I also lead the Wakelet Schools program. And I'm, over here with the team, we're trying to constantly improve the program and try and give you as much value as we can to make your lives better and to really enhance how you teach and use Wakelet within curricula and outside. So hopefully on the back of these sessions, you will get a lot of value add and understand a little bit more about how you can make the most of the product and how you can make the most of the program as well. We've got a few updates that we want to take you through before we actually move into introducing our amazing guests for the day. So we're going to be taking you through some product updates, community updates, and obviously some Wakelet School updates. And then we'll move on to having our guests speak for 15 minutes each, which is going to be great because it gives you an insight into how some of the best schools on the program are utilizing Wakelet and making the most of the program within their school communities. So to start off with, we have a few cool product updates that we want to take you through. So some of you who have been to Community Week, this is probably not very new information, but for all of you who haven't made it to Community Week and haven't had the time to look at some of our updates, we've recently released Wakelet student accounts, which is a great way for you to import your students and their accounts from Google Classroom, Microsoft EDU, so that's Teams and any other EDU services Microsoft provides, and Clever. It's a great way to provide a safe and secure access to Wakelet for all of your students. So do check that out if you haven't already. We've also got the latest Giphy integration, which is just a great way to interact and add Giphy content inside of a Wakelet collection, something that all of you, I'm sure, will enjoy quite a bit. We've also got an Adobe Spark integration that's going to be coming very, very soon to all of you, where you can actually add Adobe Spark content straight from inside of a Wakelet collection. How cool is that? I think it's been one in the making for a long time, and we're super excited to sort of release it to all of you and see how you make the most of both products together. We've also got some very special community updates for all of you that I'm sure will excite each and every one of you. We've got a new Wakelet course coming up. So James has been leading this from our end, and we've obviously been told that all of you have really been anticipating this course and have been waiting for it for a long time. It's a course that we have worked on and developed in-house, and so we're very excited to release it to all of you so you can make the most of it. We've also got a resource hub that's now going to be available in multiple languages. So that includes the ebook, slides for training sessions, example use cases and tutorials. And all of this, like I said, will be more accessible as it will be distributed in multiple languages. So you could as well find it in your local language and then use it within your local learning communities. We've also got a brand new ambassador swag pack, and I'm sure all of you are super excited as I say this. And so to all the ambassadors on the call, you've got some really exciting treats coming your way. We've also got a few school updates. So we've got 200 schools on the program right now. So big shout out to each and every school on the program for everything that you do for the Wakelet community, and also for evangelizing and pushing the Wakelet Schools program within your local learning communities. It's been absolutely incredible personally, and I can speak for the team as well, to be involved in helping you make the most of the platform and to just see the truly incredible ways in which you're finding use for Wakelet within your school communities and outside. We can't wait to keep improving the program and make it a lot better for you, so you can use it at the ease of when possible, and sort of make it as flexible as possible for you as well. I mean, everything we do here is try to make your experience better on the platform, and the school program is no different. This monthly calls that we've started right now are meant to be almost a showcase of 2 schools every month. So it's meant to be a great show of some schools that have really utilized the platform and the schools program in the way we envisioned it at the start. And hopefully off the back of this, a lot of questions about that, perhaps you have as a school, perhaps you have as a principal, on how the Wakelet Schools program can impact your school, impact your learning communities. All of these questions will be answered. You'll also be able to see firsthand how schools are utilizing the program, I would say, to the absolute max. And I think this would serve as a great starting point for all of you. Some of our schools over here have been on the program for 5+ months. Some of our schools on the call over here have just joined the program last month. So, for each and every one of you, there's something on here that will provide us, be a point of inspiration. We're also going to do a blog post on the schools that have been showcased on the calls today. So everything that you're learning about these schools will also be documented and then posted out on social media. So all of you can also engage with that content on there. And we're really hoping to make this as useful and inspirational for all of you as possible. So now coming up, we've got our guest schools. So like I said, each month we will be picking 2 schools to showcase everything that they're doing on the Wakelet Schools program, or using everything they're doing on Wakelet using the Wakelet Schools program. And for this month, we've got Stormy Daniels from the Duran Elementary School and Graham McElroy from Leo Academy. 2 absolutely outstanding organizations and outstanding people. I can't wait to learn more about how they've used the Wakelet Schools program, and I'm sure all of you are as well super excited for this. So I'm going to pass it over to Stormy Daniels first to take us through how her school has used the Wakelet Schools program, and how all of you perhaps can take some inspiration from it. So over to our guest today, and thank you all so much for joining. I think you're on mute, Stormy.
Of course I'm muted.
No problem, common mistake.
That's like my claim to fame in every meeting. Welcome. Thank you for having our school here represented. We are proud to have been showcased this year in Wakelet Live Week already, so you've probably already met us. But nonetheless, we're here again, and we are new and improved. We are starting a new school in the fall. We are consolidating, so we are now Duran Elementary, as Tejas has said. We were the former Dowell Elementary. We are the Wakelet School at Duran Elementary now. And so our profile has been updated to highlight that change. And we're excited to open this brand new school. It's not even like finished yet, so the paint is still wet, and we're going to move in there in 2 months. So how did we find out about the Wakelet School program? Well, we first found out about it through social media. We heard about amazing schools in India who were piloting it, and some of our colleague teachers in India that we collaborate with on other projects were showcasing their schools in the Wakelet Schools program. So of course, that's where we first heard about it. And then as soon as it was released in the international community, I went and found that application, and I realized I can't do it alone. And so I had to get people at my school excited as well. So I first brought it up to my grade level team, and I showed them the requirements. And as many of you know, it was probably the greatest year ever as a teacher, because there were so many changes, so many, just keep going, we're going to survive this. And we survived this, but we were burned out. And we knew if we took it to our team, like we take everything else to our campus, oh, I have this great idea, it wasn't going to be well received. So we first packaged the idea of the requirements to our principal in such a way, and our principal is our school leader, in such a way that, we already had the timeline broken down. We already had a team of individuals who were going to help us, who were going to make this happen, and really shared how it would bring a renewed spirit to our community. Before we even brought it to the principal, we packaged it in a nice way that this is something that we were excited about. And so because of that, our principal, Yenny Ontiveros, also got very excited about it. And she said, let's do this. So that day we applied. But I recommend, if you're an ambassador new to the program, or you're trying to get another school to join you, to package it in such a way that it's not more for the admin team to do, and administrators in the meeting right now will understand that they already have a lot on their plate, and one more new thing that they have to tell their faculty is probably not something that's going to be well received. So as soon as we applied, we pushed submit on that application. The community leaders, who weren't leaders yet, but they already got started. They already started the trainings that they had to complete themselves. They already were rocking and rolling with our plan, and we hadn't even been accepted, because we knew even if we weren't accepted, we would just keep applying. And we were a Wakelet school already, we felt in our own minds, right? And so because of that, we just kept going with our plan, because we knew the Wakelet program was something we really wanted. And then we were accepted the first time we applied, luckily, because we would have to keep selling it. And so as soon as we were accepted, we were ready to roll out the plan with our school, because our community leaders had already done their training. We had already been using Wakelet, within our team, and a few pockets, our students had already been using Wakelet. And so it was easy for us to, keep the ball rolling once we got accepted into becoming a Wakelet school. And one key to our success, and I'll remind you that we weren't, we were in the same situation as everyone else in the world this year. And so we knew it might not be accepted well to do one more thing at the end of this hybrid teaching, remote teaching, we don't even know what we're doing yet year. And so we were very strategic in our plan. We were like, guerrilla warfare, where you throw the little seed pods around to get a garden to grow. That was our plan. And so we would go and talk one-on-one to fellow teachers, fellow staff members. The counselor needed to do something, so we found a way for her to use Wakelet to do it. So we already planted these seeds that Wakelet was something good before we approached them. And I think that was the key to our success. And instead of having our one requirement of the program is to turn around the trainings to your faculty, instead of doing that, we totally game-based it, because if it's a game and there's points, teachers will do it. And so we set up a Wakelet, of course, and we had a game board. And our goal was customized, on-demand, powerful development, rather than sitting everyone on a Zoom call for 45 minutes and us teaching them what Wakelet was. We knew that wasn't going to work. So our plan was personal, powerful development rather than professional development as we knew it. All right. So it was what you need, when you need it, and where you want it. All right. And so if you visit our profile, all of this is available to you. Please steal our ideas. It's not stealing, it's growing the global community. So the first thing we did was publish it to our school.
Welcome to Dallas Wakelet Wave Week. This week, May 10th to 14th, has been designated as Dallas Wakelet Wave Week. Faculty and staff members have been assigned to a team, as seen on the agenda. You will receive a physical copy of the week's agenda. Our goal is for every staff member to complete the daily tasks. Team members will receive points for each task completed, and badges will be awarded at the end of the week. This collection provides videos that can help you complete the tasks. Thank you for your participation in this project, and may the best team win.
So you can see that we, had the mentality of let's make this fun. Let's make this something we want to do. And another tip was I was already a Wakelet ambassador, and I've been a Wakelet ambassador now, I think 2 years. I don't even know. And so everyone knew that I already liked Wakelet. So for me to tell them, hey, let's do this, probably wasn't the best thing, because they probably don't always listen to my crazy ideas. But we had the most veteran teacher on our campus, Miss Holguin. She's been on our campus teaching for 40 years. And she is very innovative. She is very, on board to learn. And you'll hear her story if you watch Wakelet Week. She was one of the presenters. So she, Miss Holguin, and our principal were the leads of it. And then I was just simply leading my team, right? And supporting the community leaders, but I wasn't the one at the forefront. And I think that was another key to our success. So on to Wakelet Week. Once we got started in Wakelet Week, we realized that teachers were so excited that they were we had challenge 1, challenge 2, and every day we added a little video right in the Wakelet. We know how powerful Wakelet is. Right in the Wakelet video, as we went through the week, just like we do for our students, we were personalizing what was happening, because we didn't know how it was going to be accepted by our community. So we set up the framework in the Wakelet. We didn't know what it would look like by the end. And we had no idea how well received it would be, how excited the teachers were. And so as we were going through it, and I was putting in the little challenges every morning to explain, how to do surf school, how to do the different things, we had to add bonus challenges because they were done already by like Thursday of the week. And so we threw in some bonus challenges, and they even did those. It was pretty remarkable, right? And so we held after school. You see, we were still COVID restricted. We were still hybrid teaching. We had some at home, some wherever they are. And so you see the excitement when you visit our profile about Wakelet Week from the teachers, right? And so we also held nighttime sessions. We held a 4 o'clock and a 6 o'clock every Wakelet Wednesday, and we're going to keep that tradition going so teachers know where they can go. It's not a meeting. It's just a meetup, a surfing thing, right? And another one of the valuable, and go back to the top, back to my school. Another one of the requirements of the Wakelet School program is the Student Ambassador Program. And the Student Ambassador Program, you'll see on the requirements, or you've already seen on the requirements. So at this time, I have a special, even more special guest. Elijah Hyde-Nesher is our community student leader, and he's going to talk about his role and how his Wakelet student ambassadors are doing. Elijah?
Thank you.
The stage is
Hello, my
yours.
name is Elijah Hyde-Nesher. I am the student ambassador leader at Dell Elementary, or now Archie Duran Elementary. When I work with helping student ambassadors, I make videos and work on talking to others to convince them to join the program and help make this change happen. I've worked with other students, helping them along the way, helping them when they needed help with working. Wakelet student ambassadors work to help others become ambassadors too, and spread the word of student ambassadors, helping them every step along the way. During a recent student leader call, we got to interview Miss Tisha Ponce of Wakelet. She helped us understand more about the program and inspired us to keep going. Your students will want to do this, so please let them have time so that they can create and express themselves. It's what the Student Ambassador Program is all about. Thank you for having me here.
Awesome. Thank you, Elijah. So if you guys would like to connect more with us, please follow us, our profile, Duran Elementary School. Pretty simple. And follow along with our journey. We have some interactive boards where if you want to ask us any questions, please watch our Wakelet live session in case you missed it. And hear from the rest of our community about how Wakelet really revitalized our campus at a time when we really needed it. So yes, Wakelet's a great tool, but Wakelet wasn't, the tool itself wasn't the successful part of the Wakelet Week. It was bringing educators together at a time when we needed to be hit by the Wakelet wave. We needed something to spark and push on through, because now we're excited about the new year and excited about using Wakelet more across our campus as a official Wakelet school in the new year. So Tejas, that's all we have.
Thank you. Thanks so much, Stormy. That was really, really inspirational. I mean, every time I listen to you speak and showcase how your school's using Wakelet, it's truly incredible to learn, all the creative things you've done to make it a lot more engaging for your educators and learners. It's just amazing. And I really hope all of the teachers on here and the schools on here will take some of those points and actually use it in their addressing of the Wakelet schools within their learning communities, and use it as inspiration. I'm sure a lot of them will. So now to hand over to Graham, who's from the Leo Academy, to speak about how he's used the Wakelet Schools program within his learning ecosystem, and how the Leo Academy has made the most of Wakelet. So over to you, Graham.
Tejas, before I go, somebody asked in the chat if our information could be shared. Please share it out. Elijah is allowed to be photographed as a student, as a child. So please share our information, and we look forward to connecting. Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you.
Hi, Tejas. Thanks for the invite. And wow, how impressive, Stormy. Gosh, you've done so much amazing stuff that I was in awe, and I couldn't write it down quick enough. So I will have to connect and have a chat after this. Let me just go, Tejas, or you're going to introduce me? Sorry, I've kind of just stolen your thunder here a little bit.
No, please go ahead and introduce yourself. And stage is over to you.
Brilliant. Super. Hi, everybody. Lovely to be here, albeit virtually, with you all. I'm Graham Macaulay, and I head up the technology function at the Leo Academy Trust in South London in the UK. So what is an Academy Trust? We're a group of schools, 6 primary schools. So we've got children up to the age of 11, not dissimilar, I don't think, to the district model that we see in the US. And we're a really forward-thinking and innovative organisation. We've got a one-to-one program where we fund every child in the trust to have their own Chromebook, and we've got a load of really successful working relationships with a number of edtech providers, Wakelet being one of them, but also Adobe, Google, and a number of other platforms and teaching tools, things like Nearpod, Flipgrid, etc. So that's a little bit about us. A little bit about me. I was a class teacher not that long ago, and I very much come from a class teacher background, and I'm very much interested in how technology is used effectively in the classroom to drive standards, to raise the bar, and to continue to do more and more. I think probably it's fair to say when I was a student teacher, I was really interested in the role that technology has. Then when I started as an NQT, so for those of you outside the UK, an NQT is the first year in the classroom out after uni. As an NQT, I was very interested in the role of technology, and here I am now supporting somewhere in the region of 4,000 children and 300 staff with the effective use of technology. And it's a job I love. It's a job I'm passionate about. It's not all hunky dory, I assure you. There are the good, the bad, and somewhere in the middle. And problems and challenges to overcome, which is fine. But day in, day out, I pretty much like my job. So why do we join the Wakelet Schools program? How did you find out about it? Sorry, I just needed the screen to come in there, and perfectly it did. How magical. Approximately 6 months or so ago, we saw on Twitter a partnership opportunity between Adobe and Wakelet. It was all about writing for change, and it was about, for me anyway, it was about giving children a real audience for their learning. And it was about saying, instead of writing for the sake of writing, instead of just writing a letter because that's what the curriculum says, or writing to persuade because that's what the curriculum said, actually let's give children purposeful, meaningful writing activities that are of interest to them, that they're passionate about, but actually are going to get published on the internet. And we did, well, as you can see, we did 1,117 examples of this, where we got all of our Key Stage 2 children across our schools, so that's 7 to 11-year-olds, to write something meaningful that they believe passionately around. And some of them were like, as you can see, is homework good or bad? Some of them were, should cyclists have to wear helmets? others of them, should we ban plastics? All of these really topical modern day issues that that we're all trying to solve. And actually our children loved it. We did loads of work in the classroom about planning and organising our writing. We then pushed that into Adobe Spark and created some really exciting Spark posts, Spark pages. And then our staff published it all using Wakelet to give that kind of aggregation, to bring all of that together, which we all know Wakelet does a brilliant job of bringing together a load of multimedia in whatever format possible. And giving it a home, and actually it was really that kind of started off our involvement in Wakelet, if I'm honest. And we used Wakelets in pockets of good practice, but I wouldn't say it was embedded across the organisation particularly well. And after that, we got, as I say, we got up to a Wakelet collection of almost 1,200 examples of children writing and sharing their expertise on Wakelet, and then. Once we kind of done that, it was all a kind of a bit of a case of like, so what now? Like, how do we continue to use this? How do we move this forward? How do we get Wakelet transforming the way that we teach and learn? And as part of this, we got more involved working with the Wakelet team, and actually what we were seeing internally was we had a number of resources we were using, but we didn't have that mechanism to collate and organize. And actually that's what Wakelet does perfectly for us. We've got a virtual working wall, so you can see behind me whole load of documents, but actually this could be a classroom display, and this could have vocabulary and plans, etc. But actually what happens digitally, how do we add all of those resources together? And that's really why we applied to the Wakelet Schools program. And I think for us the key was that we just wanted to connect. We wanted to network. We wanted to meet like-minded organizations and see how we could support other people, but also how we could learn from the system in the process. And it's great to see more and more Wakelet schools coming on board. It's great to see so many passionate and skilled staff across the education sector that want to work together. And that's really why we applied to the Wakelet Schools program. And I believe we were one of the first, we might have even been the first, but we were definitely one of the first Wakelet schools in the UK. And that was really nice for us to see that actually we're the first school that's in this community that can really take this practice and share it. We do a lot of work, definitely nationally, and in fact globally, on the use of technology. And we do lots of webinars. And actually, I think we're really keen to help people along, to support people, to recognise that technology use in schools isn't straightforward. And so Wakelet Schools was another way that we could champion the best practice use of technology and help people and share it and promote it, and also love a bit of swag as well. Who doesn't? So that's all really important to us as well. So that's kind of like what we did pre-Wakelet Schools. And I guess the key question is, so what? Who cares? What does this mean for you now? And I think, of course, there's that networking thing. I think that's really important to us. But I thought I wanted to share with you one specific project that we're working on at the moment, because I think this is really nice to see, and this is what it's all about. And that was about forging international connections. So, we're in South London. So if you imagine, I don't know, the UK is a rectangle. We're, bottom right-ish, bottom right to bottom middle. And it's very easy for us to get stuck in our community. And I think what the Wakelet Schools program has done is it's given us an awesome connection with a school in North India. And actually, initially, I was a bit like, London, North India, have we got anything in common? Lots of sun? No, we've got lots of rain. Big school, not that big school. But actually, there is absolute synergy and connection between the schools. And I think I've absolutely loved every minute of talking to them, just to really understand, pick apart, and decipher their education system, because it's very different to ours, of course it is, but there's just so much that's also the same. And it actually came up almost organically in conversation with Michael around, why don't we do some sort of project together on let me start again. Why don't we do some sort of project on the UN Sustainable Development Goals? They're a key part to our curriculum, and actually helping children to understand what a sustainable future looks like. And actually, the school that we're working with, that we're sort of partnering with on this project, are also doing great work on the UN Sustainable Development Goals. And actually, it was so refreshing to see children from across continents having, broadly speaking, the same opinion, articulated differently, different priorities, different drivers, of course, but 100% aligned on what they wanted to do. And this program is this initiative, if you like, is very much at the start of this. and we absolutely haven't got to the end of it. But actually, what an amazing model for bringing schools together that are like-minded to solve world and global problems, because that's what it's about. And actually, I think it's really important here to say as well that yes, of course, we use Wakelet to host all of our content and show, but actually, Wakelet is really effective at setting us up for these conversations, setting us up to then go and do other things. And I think I think Wakelet is a great example, but more importantly than the tool, if you like, is actually the effect it's having on our children's learners. So just one example there, but there's obviously lots going on. So I'm just going to share with you an example of this writing for change stuff as well, because I realised I sort of glossed over this, and actually there's so much great stuff here. So as you can see here, loads and loads of really good examples. Is homework good or bad? I think I'd probably telling children, sort of lying to them a little bit, telling them there's going to be loads more homework, and they had more and more opinions on that. But let's scroll down. Let's see what else we can find. Homework is understandably very key to the children. Healthy food, junk food, or a balanced diet. Is homework good or bad? Is plastic good or bad? Is plastic pollution good or bad? Is plastic good or bad? So you can see there's so many great lessons here that our children have engaged with, and are using Wakelet to help the way they learn. So just a bit of a summary there about us. I'm going to stop talking and pass back to Tejas that might have some questions or some other new features, hopefully.
Thanks so much, Graham. That was really, really, again, inspirational to see. And it's great how you share a similar opinion as Tommy does, where you found great value in the Wakelet community and being able to connect with educators from around the world. I think it's just so powerful to see that the Wakelet community is bringing so many like-minded educators from across the world who are all trying to do the same thing, which is empower young learners and give them the best opportunity possible. So that was truly incredible to see. And also the fact that you're making use of Wakelet across your school. It was truly amazing to see the number of students that took part in the Adobe and Wakelet Writing for Change Challenge. And I guess that kicked off the use of Wakelet within Leo Academy, which was, again, very privileged to have your school and Stormy Daniels' school on the program. And I'm sure all of our attendees today and all the schools watching are perhaps also quite inspired by the different ways in which you've made the most of the program. Stormy showcasing just some absolutely amazing ways in which she has, along with her teachers, pushed Wakelet, the Wakelet Schools concept and some of the tasks internally in her school. I think it's so important to be creative with how you engage not only your learners, but also your staff, your fellow educators, and also give them a little inspiration for how they can engage with this program. Because like Stormy was saying, and like Graham mentioned as well, teachers nowadays have so much on their plate. The pandemic hasn't obviously made it easy on anyone whatsoever, and having another program or another tool to then deploy across the school is just an added piece of work. So making it a little bit more fun and being creative with it is probably going to go a long way. And hopefully the fact that all of you have the support of this super engaged and very supportive community is possibly also then helping you make these calls internally in your school environments and take inspiration from all of these great scenarios. And I've just seen a comment from Stormy mentioning she really liked the SDGs focus on the Writing for Change Challenge. Again, it's so great to see how learning communities are focusing on such important issues that we face globally with sustainability and climate action really needing to come to the forefront. And what better way to sort of have this come to the forefront than with young learners? I mean, all of our learners today are going to be decision makers tomorrow, and it's absolutely amazing to see that the Wakelet Schools program could perhaps try and facilitate some of this journey and help throughout this journey. And Wakelet as a product can also be a super important part in all of this. Thank you all so much for joining today. As I said, we're going to be having these meetups every single month, and we will be showcasing 2 schools a month. So if you are interested, please do email us, and we'll look at how we can accommodate for it and showcase everything that you have done with the Wakelet Schools concept. We know that we've got some amazing schools, like Stormy Daniels and the Leo Academy and Graham, who've really done some amazing work, not just with the program, not just with Wakelet as a product, but within education in general, and just the way that the 2 schools are going at education and technology advocacy is truly inspiring. And I'm sure we've got many other schools on our program that are doing the same. In fact, I'd like to go as far as saying that all of our early schools and the schools that came on board when we went international, and some of the schools that came on board when we first started off in India, were perhaps early advocates for technology in their respective regions, and not just for Wakelet. So it's also great to hear that technology is making its way into curricula, especially in the world that we live today. It's so important to see this happening, so it can facilitate the continuation of education regardless of where we're at in this world, whether it's in the midst of a pandemic, which means that, of course, we can't meet each other face to face, and teachers can no longer meet students, or whether we're in a normal world scenario where teachers can, in fact, finally meet students in their classroom. So thanks again, everyone, and hopefully we'll see all of you next month again. Please do send us over any questions you have. I'm just going to look at the chat for any final questions. But if anyone's got any final questions, please do ask right now. And if you've not got any questions, we will wrap up. The session's meant to be as interactive as possible. So yeah, please let us know. There doesn't seem to be any questions, which is totally okay. So if anything comes to mind and you do feel the need to ask us, please email myself or email the Wakelet support team. As Tommy said, we've shared her profile, so please do follow her school on Wakelet. And yes, we will see you all again next month. Thank you all. Thank you.